Hey BladeOps, today we are talking about folding knife detents. So if I missed something when we're talking about detents and you wanted to talk about it, feel free to comment down below and I'll try and get to those comments. And I'm not the expert, just kind of pointing out some of the basics about detents and how you can test it, check it out, etc. So let's talk about it. Right here we have the Spyderco Sage. It's a folding knife and it has a liner lock. So the liner, the actual liner of the knife, I have one taken apart here. We'll go ahead and pull it up. Here is the liner lock of the Spyderco Sage. And right here, wait for that to zoom in there. Right there at the tip of the liner is a little ball, a ball bearing. And what that does is that rolls on the blade when it opens and closes to minimize the wear of the actual liner on the knife. So you can see right there, in between the blade and the liner, there's a little ball, and that ball rolls on the blade to minimize wear of the liner lock on the blade. And when it pops open, boom. Now we'll zoom in even closer if the camera will zoom, and you can actually see the ball in there on the Spyderco Sage. Very cool. So when the knife is going to close, there's a little indentation or a detent on the blade, and when the knife's gonna zoom in there, and when the knife closes, pop. Did you see that? Go real slow at the end there. The ball bearing will actually pop into the detent of the blade. Pop, there it goes. So I will show you the detent on a Spyderco Sage blade that I have removed from this Spyderco Sage. You can see there, that is the detent that the ball bearing sits in when the knife closes. And depending on how deep, there's a lot of factors. So depending on how deep that hole is, how big the ball bearing is, and also how strong this liner is pushing inward on the blade. So this affects when the blade opens, how easily the blade is opened. You can see there's a little bit of resistance, and that is the ball bearing popping out of the detent. Also, when the blade is going to close, how easily it, see that at the very end, how easily that snaps back into place. And when you're carrying it in your pocket or vertically, etc., how easily the blade pops out like that. Now here is the Spyderco Sage Titanium, and this is actually the knife that got me thinking about the detent in the first place. Now we have to remember there's a few factors on the detent going into it. There is the depth of the detent on the blade, there's the size of the ball bearing, and also the force of the liner lock or frame lock in this case pushing against the blade in that direction. So, and I think with this knife that's particularly one of the biggest factors. So wait for that to zoom in. There's the ball bearing. You can see it pops up on the blade there, reduces wear, and closes like, you can see it there, boom, closed. Now the detent on the Spyderco Sage Titanium is very good. It's very strong, and I actually like it. I mean, you can see there it has quite a bit of pop to open, and also when we go to close that, has some good snap back into the handle. So what I think is going on here is the detent may be the same size as the Sage, the ball bearing might be the same size, but since you have a frame lock design instead of the liner lock with quite a bit of pressure, so when the frame pops in the closed position, you have a little bit more force, causing a little bit better detent on the Spyderco Sage Titanium. So that is your brief little overview of what a folding knife detent is. Once again, here is the Spyderco Sage blade, and that little hole right there is the knife detent. Feel free to comment down below, comments, questions, whatever. We'll get to them as soon as we can, and check it out, BladeOps.